with triangles, which I don't know about you, but I'm pretty happy about that. Can we go ahead and close the devices over there? So we're moving into polygons. Does anyone know what the prefix poly means? Like, have you heard that before? Let's start with triangle. What does tri mean? 3. Poly just means lots, several. Okay, so probably more. I mean, it could be 3, I suppose. But 3 or more just means lots. So we're going to move into shapes that have more than 3 sides. We're going to go beyond triangles. So I'm going to start with this n here. N is the number of sides that you have. So n is the number of sides. So for a triangle, n would be 3. And then we have this word regular in front of polygon. Regular means all the sides are congruent. So it means all the sides are the same. So if it says a regular polygon, all the sides are congruent. It might just be full and need to be emptied. Did it work well enough? Okay, I'll check on it in a second. All right, so we do have names for them. And some of them are written on here because I don't want you to have to write all of them, but let's go ahead and fill this in. If you have 3 sides, obviously that is a triangle. What do you think is 4? Does anyone know what the prefix is for 4? I'm just throwing it out there to see if anyone knows it. It does begin with a Q. Good, nice. Quadrilateral is 4. So quadrilateral is 4. Pentagon is 5. You know, like the Pentagon building, and it has 5 sides. Crazy, right? All right. 6 is a hexagon. Seven is called a heptagon. Do you know what 8 is? What the prefix for 8 is? Think like an animal with 8 legs. Like an octopus. So what do we call it? A shape? Yeah, octagon. Like a stop sign is an octagon. All right, 10 is a decagon. I'm not even going to ask for that one because I didn't really expect anyone to know that, but 10 is decagon. There might be a word for 11. I don't know what it is. 12 is dodecagon. And then beyond that, we just call them an n-gon. So like if it has 20 sides, you just call it a 20-gon. We don't have names for every single one of them. So for this next part, all I need for you to do is watch, all right? Instead of telling you what the formula is, I'm going to show you why it works. What you need? Yeah. Just make sure you stop it when you come back. All right, so for this part, all I need you to do is watch and listen, all right? This is a quadrilateral. That means n is 4. It has 4 sides. All right, so watch what I'm going to do with the quadrilateral. If I draw a line through, I now have 2 of what shape? If you look at just half of it, what shape have we got? A triangle. We now have 2 triangles. So review question. We need to focus better than this, right? How many degrees are in a triangle? What should the degrees add up to? What is our magical number that most things add up to in geometry? 180. So this one is 180, and this one is also 180. You have 2 triangles. So for a quadrilateral, it would be 2 times 180. You have 2 of them, right? Now, for a pentagon, n would be what? Pentagon means what? Sides, how many? 5. You can just count them there. N is 5. If I connect like this, now how many triangles do I have? 3. So it would be 3 times 180. I'm trying to build this pattern here. Hold on, I'm going to hand you your note sheet. There you go, thank you. Hexagon means n is 6. And just look, how many triangles am I able to make out of this now? 4. So it's 4 times 180. And I mean, I'm not going to keep going, but so far I'll just do one more. But this has 7 sides. And then how many triangles have I got? Can you please put that away? How many triangles did I end up with in here? 5. Good. So 5 times 180. So what I want you to make the connection with is this number and this number. Do you see how this is 4 and this is 2? This is 5 and that's 3. This is 6 and that's 4. This is 7 and that's 5. How do you get from n to this number that's in front of the 180? What do you do with it? That's 7 and that's 5. That's 6 and that's 4. Come on, put it together, guys. I know you can do it. You take away 2. Do you see how it's 5 and 3, 6 and 4, 7 and 5? All right. You take away 2. So on your notes sheet, if you want the sum, which means adding up all of your angles, it's n minus 2 times 180, because that's how many triangles you end up with inside of your shape. Oh, thank you. Can you guys end your pastas, please? Or you know what? I can do it. I got it. There we go. All right. Now, if you only want one angle instead of all of them added together, you would take that total, so n minus 2 times 180, you would take what that total is and divide it by the number of sides. So say you had an octagon, say you had 8 angles in there. You would take the sum of them and divide it by 8. You would split it equally 8 ways. That only works for regular polygons. All right, so it has to be regular, which means all the sides are the same. All right, so let's try a couple of them. Basically, you're going to use the formula and put it in the calculator. So this says find the sum. We're going to do n minus 2 times 180. And then you're going to plug in n. All you have to do is read. I don't want to read to you. That teaches you to not read. All right, what is the number of sides? Just read this. 11. Do you see that there? 11. So it's going to be 11 minus 2 times 180. And I'm going to put that in the calculator. I'm just going to type into my Desmos 11 minus 2 times 180. It's going to be a lot. I got 1,620. That's the answer. Ms. Cole, it's that easy? Yep. That's all you got to do. That's your formula. You plug in. I'm going to actually do number 3 next. I think it's the next easiest one, so let's do that one next. And I'll come back to number 2. Make this bigger here. Now this one says we want one interior angle. So we only want one of them. Now it also says regular pentagon. So what is n for a pentagon? Let's decide that first. If you don't know, flip back over. I saw a bunch of you just do that. What is n for pentagon? 5. Good. So our formula, it's going to be n minus 2 times 180. And then because we only want one of them instead of all of them added together, we're going to divide by n, which is 5. And then you simply plug in. It's going to be 5 minus 2 times 180 divided by 5. So what we're saying is you have 5 angles in the thing. It's a pentagon, and you want what just one of them is worth. And I'm going to just type that in my calculator, exactly like it looks. Divide by 5, 108. If you want a visual of what that looks like, and don't make fun of my drawing here, but do you see how this has 5 sides? It means each of these is 108. Do you see what I'm saying? I didn't draw that real great, but are you visualizing? Like, that's what we found. You don't have to draw that if you don't want to. I'm just trying to get you to see it. All right, and they're all 108. And then all the sides are congruent too. All right, so let's go back to number 2. I skipped that one because it was a little bit harder. Find the sum of all the angles. Well, how many sides does this thing have? 4. So we're going to do 4 minus 2 times what? 180. So 4 minus 2 times 180. You take the number of sides, subtract 2, multiply by 180. That is going to give us 360. And then we're going to write our equation. You're going to add all these things together and make it equal 360. I'm going to start all the way here on the side because it's going to be kind of long. 3x minus 6 plus 2x minus 8 plus x plus x plus 10 equals 360. I just added them all up. I took this plus this plus this plus this equals 360. It's been a while since we've done an algebra problem, so let's try and work this one out. I know you guys can add, all right? Let's group together all the x's. You have 3x plus 2x plus 1x, and then plus another 1x. So can you add those together? You can count on your fingers. 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. 7. Be 7x. And then if you combine the numbers -6, -8, and +10, that is going to give you -4. I'll do that one for you because there were some negatives in there. Equals 360. And then what would you do to keep solving it? You all passed Algebra 1, so I know you can do it. How do you get rid of a -4? Yeah. +4. Yeah, you know how to solve an equation. So we're going to get 7x equals 364. And then what's your last step? How would you get rid of the 7 there? Yeah, divide by 7. I don't know what 364 divided by 7 is, so hold on. 64 divided by 7. I got 52. So x is 52. Cool. All right. That was interior angles. And what does interior mean? Interior means where? Yeah, inside. Now we're going to look at the exterior angles. Again, I'm going to do a little visual to show you. All I need for you to do is look up here, and I'm going to fill it out for you and show you what these come out to. All right. And I might not do the hexagon because this is going to end up being a lot. All right, but here's a triangle. That should add up to 180, which means each one of these is 60. Okay, and you don't have to do anything except look and listen here. Now your exterior angles are these ones on the outside. So if you draw in these extra lines, looks kind of like a pinwheel. This one would be 120. This one would be 120, and this one would be 120. If you add 120 plus 120 plus 120 together, if you add them all up, you get 360 degrees. Okay? If you have a pentagon, and it really doesn't matter how many sides you have. I'm gonna just do one more to give you a visual of this. Pentagon means 5. We actually already did this problem. Each of these would be 108. We worked that out in the notes just a moment ago. And if those are all 108, it means each one of these would be 72. Now, if you add 72 plus 72 plus 72 plus 72 plus 72, guess what you get? 360. No matter how many sides there could be 3 sides or there could be 40 sides. If you add up your exterior angles, it's going to equal 360. Let me hand you this, please. Which is great because it's not even a formula. It's literally just a number. All right. So on your note sheet, for your exterior angles, it's 360. It just is. There's not even a formula. You don't have to plug anything in. That just is the answer. Can you guys close your laptops? I mean, it's just a respect thing. I'm teaching. Also, you're about ready to do a classwork on this where you have to know how to actually do the problems. Can you please close your computer? I know. It's like, all right, now if you only want one, you're going to take that 360 and divide it by how many sides you have. So you're going to divide it by n. You're just going to split it into n equal parts. Yeah. It just is 360. That just is the answer. There's not even a formula. The answer just is 360. Now, if you only want one of them, you just divide by how many sides you've got. All right. We want one angle, n exterior angle for an octagon. So what is n for an octagon? Octagon means 8 sides. Good job. Now, there's not really a formula. It just is 360. And then you're going to divide it by 8. You're going to take your 360 and divide it by 8. And let me see what that is. I'm going to type that in. I don't know that one off the top of my head. And it is 45. So if they ask you the sum of the exterior angles, it's just 360. If they ask you for just one, it's 360 divided by however many sides you've got. You're just splitting it that many equal ways.